Hey there, I am going to be sharing with you guys my review of the Beautiful Feet Ancient History 5th through 8th grade curriculum. They graciously sent it to me for me to look over, and I was excited to look it over because I've heard so many great things about them and about this curriculum. And so some of the things that I noticed first off was how extensive the book list was. So the required literature is very extensive. It's about 15 different books that they require, and they are all really good literature books. So here's just a peek at, I don't know if you can see some of the books for this year. And then every section has additional books that you can also read with your student. And they're very good quality books. They're absolutely the best of the best, I would say, for this time period. The other thing that I really noticed and really liked is the hands-on activities. So there are a lot of hands-on activities for each section, and they have little links that you can use, things like that, to get samples of the different activities, and that's really nice. You can plug those in at different times throughout the unit that you're on. There is a lot of supplemental books that you can use as well. In the back of each unit, it will say different things you can pick out from, the library or order online to have extra stuff. So here's like an example of some supplemental literature they have for one of the units. And I'm not sure exactly how you would incorporate that many of them, but you definitely just have to pick which ones that you want to use, you don't want to use. In my opinion, a lot of these are can be more for an older kid, high school age level. And matter of fact, in another video, I talk about how My Father's World uses a lot of these books that they use for required literature. They actually don't introduce them until the high school level in their curriculum. And so that just kind of tells you something. I will say the beginning of the curriculum, they are very honest that it is a very robust curriculum. And there's a lot of reading. So there is a lot of chapters of reading every day. Just for Bible, they have like about 6 chapters a day. And then from their read aloud, they have like about 5 to 6 chapters a day from their read aloud. And then they have reading in their science a portion as well. I'm sorry, not their science, their history or geography portion as well. So for me, that's a lot of reading, especially since, I had my thyroid out. My voice gets more scratchy easier than it used to. So I would have to use audiobooks a lot with this curriculum, and that would be okay. We use them even now with our other curriculum. The other thing I noticed is there's a lot of Another thing I noticed is there is a lot of map work. So a lot of map work and a lot of different words to look up and try. It looks like maybe try to memorize. I don't know that they are ever tested on them, but they encourage a lot of introduction to lots of different words and looking them up in the glossary and stuff. There's a lot of map work, like I said, a lot of work for the kids to do on their own as far as map work, as it looks like they keep a notebook as well, and they record a lot of the definitions for different things in that notebook, in their history notebook. So it looks like a lot of stuff to be doing for the kiddos as far as writing or map work or narration and stuff. But if you can pick and choose, if you're the kind of parent who can pick and choose and not try to do everything, then I think, it definitely would be good. There's a lot of good in it. So there's a lot of hands-on activities, like I said. Those are really good. They're really quality. It looks like hands-on things, not as much crafty stuff, but more handicrafts, it looks like, making beads and things like that, making masks, building a model of something. So that's nice, and there's links to online examples of those. I didn't see that there was a difference in 5th grade and under with Beautiful Feet books, and then as far as 5th grade through 8th grade, I didn't realize that there was a separation. They didn't have a family style for the 2 different age groups. And so that's interesting to see that. It looks like for other curriculums they might, but not for when you get to history. It looks like they divide them up. And so I personally like to do things across the board, like my 2nd grader, my 3rd grader, up through, you know, with my 5th, 6th grader. So I like to span a bigger age gap for that. But if you have a 5th through 8th grader and, you know, you want to try something out, if you really love to read, you really like to read as many books as you can, I think this is a great curriculum for that. I think it has some incredible literature. I do think for the price, it's definitely feasible for you to just take and pick, you know, some things you want to do, some books you don't want to do. And I think it would be really, really good for that. I think the biggest thing I would say is keep in mind that it's going to be hard if you try to do everything and not to feel like a failure, you know, if you're not hitting everything. But just remember that, you know, Charlotte Mason's principles of a feast, and pick what you feel like you can put into your homeschool day. And don't worry about what you can't as far as activities, books, those kind of. So all in all, what is my opinion about Beautiful Feet, Ancient History, 5th through 8th grade? I think it's a great curriculum. I think it's very rigorous as far as if there's a Charlotte Mason or classical curriculum. I think it's very, very rigorous. I do not think it's anywhere near as rigorous as like classical conversations, where they have a lot of memorization and a lot of written work. I don't see a lot of that in here. It looks like it's fun. It's like map work, geography notebook type things. It is a lot of reading, So, you know, if you don't have hours to spend reading aloud, I think that, again, you have to tailor it. You have to cut out some of the books or something. But what they have, though, is great quality. So it's just figuring out which ones you want to get rid of, which ones you don't want to do. And I would look at their high school curriculum, if that's what you're using, and see what books they use for required. That way, you know, you kind of can get an idea, you know, if they're going to go through this one, maybe you don't need to go through one that's super similar to it right now in these younger grades. But it's a good curriculum, especially for the price. I am impressed with it. So I hope that helps some of you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out and let me know. And I hope you have a great day.